Hey everyone, hope everybody's staying warm. Here in Ohio, we've had a fairly moderate winter, if hardly any winter at all. It's mostly been on the average. I think the average temperature's been mid 40s, 50s, something like that. So we haven't had that bad of a winter. I've still been staying pretty steady on small engine repair stuff. Actually, I was hoping, in the wintertime kind of slow down a little bit. Even I still work on snow blowers, but like I said, it's kind of nice to slow down a little bit. This past summer kept me pretty freaking busy, on top of working my full-time job. So I had to take my head off the internet and stuff like that, just so I could not take on any more new customers. Which I did take on some new ones this year. I think I just bit off more than I could chew. So it's kind of hard to keep up once because you're not getting the stuff back as fast as you used to be, because that was kind of like one of the big things I had versus the bigger small engine shops, was that a lot of times if a customer dropped off a machine, I'd have it back to them in about a week. Summer, I was running a month or two behind, even though the bigger small engine shops were about 3-4 months. So everybody made money this past year. And again, I hope it's the same thing, but at this point, unless I hire somebody to help me or, whatever, I'm pretty maxed out on customers. Work is continuous. I like to be busy, but at the same time, I don't want to get burnt out either. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to pull back a little bit to where that I don't get burnt out. It's something I really love to do. So, the biggest thing I see with the 2 cycles is the carburetors. I know everybody has some opinions on that. Versus, I know when I first got into this, it was rebuilding carburetors. Now, don't rebuild them so much. I can get an aftermarket carburetor for $15, versus I can go out and get a repair kit or rebuild kit. For a 2-cycle carburetor, and it's like $7-10. So just spending an extra couple dollars saves me a whole lot of time and saves the customer money. So that's what I've been doing. I pretty much anymore with these other I just, when I get a carburetor or something, I just go ahead and buy another one and just replace it. You can get one of these carburetors $14-15. Sometimes I don't see them too much around 20, unless it's 25 or 30, unless it's kind of a rare carburetor type thing. Where it's a popular model or something for whatever reason. Some of these oddball carburetors are very expensive, but the most common ones you find, of course, are probably going to be the cheapest. So, like I repaired this Husqvarna. It's a light, medium duty chainsaw. Repaired that, and the whole thing cost me $25. That's a fuel line, fuel filter, and a carburetor, and a gasket, and the manifold gasket. So again, and I charged the guy $40 to repair it. So, which is not too hateful. Now with the bigger updraft carburetors on my old tractors and stuff like that, those are rebuildable. You have to rebuild those. I think a new one's damn near $300. So on the bigger tractors and stuff like that, of course you're just going to rebuild those carburetors. But with a lot of the snow blowers, like the Tecumseh engines on, like the Craftsman snow blowers, stuff like that, those ones, again, I can get one of those for $30. I don't have any prices in front of me, but I'm just coming off the top of my head. But they're inexpensive. I just replace the carburetor. I have some customers, I want the original carburetor. I want the carburetor straight from the manufacturer. And yeah, I can get those, but those are going to be $100 for me to rebuild it. You might as well just get. My theory is just put aftermarket on there every 5-10 years. If you still have the machine, swap it out, put a new carburetor on it. It's inexpensive to keep it running versus trying to rebuild an old carburetor and trying to make sure it just, after time, they just don't run like they used to. They were just like anything else. They wear out or whatever. So, but I mainly stick with, the aftermarket stuff. There's some opinions on that, yeah, but when it comes down to the bigger tractors, the ones I do have, the opposed twin engines and stuff like that, with the Onan engines, those carburetors, you have to rebuild those unless you want to go out and buy a brand new one. So, there's some that you're going to have to rebuild, but most of the smaller ones, 4 and 2 cycle engines that like for snow blowers, like 5, 6, 7 horsepower engines, you get carburetors for dirt cheap. So now I did have a problem with this one snowblower out here. Again, it all comes down to demand and how popular the engine is and everything else. This is a Craftsman snowblower. It's got a Tecumseh engine on it, 3.8 horsepower. Now the carburetor for this, the cheapest I found was $80. So I'm gonna go ahead and contact the customer and ask him. Normally these carburetors again are, for these snowblowers are dirt cheap. Like the ones for these with the Tecumseh engine on them, I can get them for $20, $25. The ones from Toro, the guy wants one from, it's a newer model. He wants one directly from Toro, so of course it's going to be a little bit more. This carburetor, brand new, I put on this mower. I just put it on the other day. It was $14. So this lawnmower was given to me. The guy didn't want it anymore. It's a flimsy, it's a cheap little mower, but hell, it's brand new. I think the mower itself is only 2 years old. So it was given to me, and I'm not real big on the enduro Tecumseh engines, but the damn thing fires up, so it would be a good backup mower. I don't sell my stuff. Usually, if I'm given something and it runs and it works, I'm not getting rid of it. So maybe I got a problem hoarding stuff, but to me, it will be a good backup mower, something I can just mow with, whatever. But I probably won't get rid of it. So I don't, like I said, it runs, everything works on it, and the only thing I had to do is put $14 into it, and it runs. So, anyways, this year is, like I said, as far as working on snowblowers, hasn't been that busy. But, like I said, I get asked a lot of, anyways, I guess my rant is about the carburetors. A lot of people ask me, what do I do? And this is what I do. I mean, that's, I think that you go on eBay, I use eBay, and I use several other vendors that I've gotten to know over the years as far as parts and stuff like that. They've been pretty good to me. Usually I like the free shipping. Of course, everybody does. But as far as rebuilding the carburetor versus getting an aftermarket carburetor, I will go after the aftermarket every time. Because most of the customers don't maintain the machines like some of the guys like me and some of you guys like you that are on these channels. Of course, most people don't have this many tractors in their garage either. So, unless we're, it's this our thing, of course, some of these carburetors are going to have to be rebuilt, like I said, on the bigger tractors. So, but anyways, that's all I got. I guess it's been kind of jibber jabbing a little bit too long, but that's my take on carburetors versus aftermarket versus rebuild them and stuff like that. And that's what I do. That's kind of like my little 2 cents. And I'm sure a lot of you guys that are doing this, same as me, or probably maybe doing the same thing. And a lot of times I leave it up to the customer. I'll go to the manufacturer, get the price, and then I'll get the aftermarket price. And listen, and then my theory is, like, I know you're not going to take care of the machine. I'll give you some advice as far as fuel stabilizers and stuff like that. But, and of course, next season they're right back here again. So I always recommend these. Like the pre-mixed stuff is what I use. True Fuel, the 40-to-1. A lot of steel chainsaws run on the 40 to 1. Then some of the the Craftsman and stuff like that. A lot of times you'll see these 50-to-1. So I keep a stockpile of parts. I keep a stockpile of Tecumseh carburetors for the snowblowers. I always keep a stock of most parts and everything I use every year. I know I'm going to be changing out 4 or 5 of these a season, or probably more. I think last season I changed out probably about 10 or 20 of these. But I keep a stockpile of extra carburetor parts just so I don't have to wait. And also I keep extra parts for my own machines too. So, but you know, I got starters, fuel hose, mufflers, filters, oil filters up here, and then I just keep a lot of the older stuff that you know, old carburetors and stuff like that I work on. I try to keep a lot of the parts. I don't like to throw a lot of stuff away, but that's just what I do. So I mean, that's because every now and then you'll never know, you might need some off the wall part that you know, from an older machine or something. And I got some older parts and stuff like that. I try not to throw too much stuff away, but you can only hold on to so much. And then my wife wants to kill me. So, but anyways, guys, that's all I got. Enough talking. Just kind of give you an updated video on things. And I'll talk to you guys later.